Hello people, we are in another video talking about death of Evi Rauter, or known as La Noia de Portbou. The topic of this video, I want to talk to you about the difficulties in investigating this case, or better said, why this case is not resolved in spite of many evidences of the pre-planned murder. So the main problem of this case is that the girl, which is of Austrian nationality, disappeared. She's from Italy, north of Italy, but she disappeared in central Italy, and then she was found dead in Spain. So you know, all the materials about the case, everything that is published online about the case, is now like in Italian, it's in Catalan, some of this in Spanish, and some of this is in German. That's being published in Austria and also in South Tyrol, where it's by the Austrian community used the German language. So you know, the global public online that would be involved with the case, the publicity of the case, there's not much in English. That's why I'm doing this video in English, because there is not much to be seen in English. And then there are many other stuff, like the crimes, los crimes, the crime, this cold case episodes, documentaries are made in Catalan. Now it's available, the Spanish version of that case. The book about the investigation that I have in possession is also made in Catalan. I have to translate that because I have to know every word that's being written there, to know precisely what is being said. What is being published in Italy in Italian, and what's being published in South Tyrol, the articles about the case. And then there is online, you can find some photo of the hanging, which is kind of mixed. The public doesn't understand who made the photo, at what time the photos were made. So that's all a grand confusion. And you have to add into that you know, the Italians, the Italian authorities, the police, they assumed she disappeared and she was not outside of Italy, and the Spanish investigators, you know, the judicial police or Guardia Civil, they seem to like cooperate very poorly with the Guardia Civil station in Portbou. So the investigation team, they came from Figueras and Girona to Portbou, and in Portbou you have a station of Guardia Civil. The information passed by that was passed by the neighbors in the building that's 10 meters away from the hanging scene, to the Guardia Civil, the local Guardia Civil, was not passed by the local Guardia Civil to the investigators later on or during that day, about the noise and coming from the death scene from that hill under the pine tree. The investigator of the Guardia Civil didn't question the neighbors that lived nearby. through there is not the testimony of Carmina Cole was lost. The testimony of the noise and the time between 4 or 5 a.m. Some noise of some people under the pine tree was also not part of the investigation. The you know the the forensic expert that had to be at the crime scene wasn't at the crime scene. He didn't you know saw the later on when he did autopsy, he didn't have possession. He was not shown the photos of the case. The photos of the case that were done by the investigators of the Guardia Civil, the black and white photos, were of very poor quality, and they were probably developed after the final report about the case was done. Then the information of the Guardia Civil about the trying to identify the girl and contacting Interpol was not passed by the Italian authorities, and then the Italian authorities they lost the papers of the original disappearance report. You know, it's only possession of the sister of Evi Rauter who guarded the document, the copy of the document, but the original was also lost on the Italian investigator. Then the Italian investigator, they should have sent the team, somebody to Port Bow to interview Carmina Cole officially as a part of official investigation. They didn't do that. They didn't send anybody to look at the crime scene, to talk to the photographers, to talk to the Guardia Civil. They were just passed on the materials of the case, you know, the papers, and so, you know, very poor cooperation, and then all these language barriers are in the way of things. The people who publish something about the case on either sides, let's say like the journalist, the Catalan journalist, the Spanish journalist, in other parts of Spain, the Südtirol journalist who wrote in German, and then all the other stuff, you know, they lack some information, you know, the total of the information. You know, they have some information, and then they publish something that somebody else cannot read in that language. I mean, it's difficult to translate that, and then to understand the you know, like this flow of information is very difficult. So yeah, that's if, you know, there were not a lack of lack of cooperation, and if it weren't for the lack of information, then this case would be already resolved, and the killers of Evi Rauter would already face the justice. Thank you for your attention. Please share this video, and see you in the next video.